Thanks for tuning in, and we are here with Philip McCravis, Tito Santana, Red Hot Scott, Scotty Too Hotty, we don't even know yet. But, hey, what do you think so far about this basketball game?
Oh, I think the same thing I thought last time we went on air, that the only thing that the Dallas Mavericks have to do in this game is roll over and die.
Well, they're doing a pretty good job in the first half.
Yeah, the sands of time are running low on the NBA season, barring a crazy flourish from Dallas. We're still waiting. I guess maybe this won't be the year of that first 3-0 NBA comeback. Still never been done.
Never been done.
Do you guys fear the Porzingis?
Makes a difference, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's a hell of a ball player.
Yeah, Porzingis being in there, I feel like it's kind of a done deal. Dallas doesn't have a chance. Dallas doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell to do a Cleveland type of a situation, Cleveland type of a saying. But, they got to play the game. They've been hanging tough. I really don't care who wins. I guess I would prefer Dallas to entertain us and win this game and take it to the rest of the series, and maybe we could see a little bit more and an NBA playoff basketball. But Boston is so tough. With Porzingis being in there, I feel like there's no chance. Although Porzingis, he's been playing some defense, but I haven't really seen him getting that much offense. So it's been kind of the Jason Tatum show, and they have been going back and forth. But I guess I'm going to shoot it over to Tito Round Trippers, Tito the Baseball Whisperer. Maybe he get us some stats on the leading scorers of the game.
Yeah, let's see. I had to scramble over to NBA.com. ESPN was being a bit fickle.
We don't know any of those organizations.
Yeah.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, we got the Celtics by 20. Tatum actually was on fire. He ended up with almost 20 at the half. I think about 18. Let's go over to the Celtics side here. Yup, Tatum with 16 and Brown with 15. So
nice.
Their two main threats are...
Their astrophysicist is playing some basketball.
Who's doing what on the Mavericks?
He can't go left, but he can split the atom. Yes, Jaylen Brown and his unique skill set.
What are they doing on the Mavericks side besides absolutely jack shit?
Well, on the Mavericks side, they hung around for a bit before the wheels came off at the half. Derek Jones Jr. actually leads them with 10. That's never how the script goes.
That's not good.
Yeah. Luka with 9, Kyrie with 5.
Playing some defense today there in Boston. Yeah, it's beautiful because it's Game 5. It's down in Boston. Game 5. It's like this is a closeout game. It's perfect. And word on the NBA streets is they can't wait to get the season over with. That way they can start negotiating max contracts. And our beautiful Cavaliers can finalize some deals, hire some coaching, and move forward. So, go Boston. Let's get this crap over with.
Right, because the dominoes fall fast. That's obviously what happens with this marathon of an NBA season. When counting the playoffs, the season's 8.5 months, compressed off season. So, bam. Finals will happen, and then, the speculation and all the off-season moves and everything.
You go grab George.
Is really going to move in.
You go grab the guy in the black shirt and bring him over.
George.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
So I was trying to get a sound check going on.
Okay, beautiful. Sound check. Hopefully we're sounding off good. So, anyways, this isn't like, it's going to be a nice night. I wish I was out in Boston tonight. Partying with that town. That'd be a hell of a party out there because I think they're going to run away with this game.
First world problems. This Boston sports column was lamenting that they haven't had a parade in 5 years.
5 years.
Don't we feel terrible for them as Clevelanders? It's been 5 whole years.
Here's the world's smallest violin.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a button for that.
Right. Cricket.
Hey, you're on next.
So.
Danielle's on next. Come on. What do you think of Boston?
All right, sound check worked out. Thank you so much for grabbing Mr. Georgie, producer George, for the sound check.
You want to come on and
want
to
pop on for a second?
Come on in. Yeah, come over here. You're just like a Dallas Maverick.
Yeah, so Dallas is basically the tale of superstars. They need Kyrie to put up a hell of a lot more. Oh, all
Shut
right.
Up, George.
Producer George.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And, you know what? Hats off to Boston. They've earned it this year. They really stood ahead of the game. They all facets of the game: coaching, bench, the starters. It really was impressive, and I don't know what to say except like congratulations. They've earned it this year. They really everything management up and down the road. They really did a fine job just looking at it from the outside looking in. And,
well, they're the new juggernaut. Juggernaut. They're hard to beat.
Yeah. I tried poking holes in them. Oh, Horford's old while Porzingis was hurt. Maybe Horford won't hold it down in the paint. Maybe their reserves won't show up. Maybe White will be a disappointment. And for the most part, none of those things happened. They handled business. And, yes, I don't particularly care for that organization, but just the average Cleveland guy, just any Boston team, there's generally a natural bias against them. But, yeah, you got to hand it to them. They've done it right, and they've built a winner. And, a lot of people gave them a hard time about negotiating the East with injured opponents and getting a good draw. The finals really legitimizes things because the West was a meat grinder, and the Mavericks came out of that. So there's no more just beat up on a weak field. Like the Mavericks came out of a very capable, loaded West. I think the 7th seed won like 46 games. So, there's nothing light and fluffy about facing these Mavericks.
I feel like the West has been the conference to beat for a long time.
Long time.
I mean, back in the day, you got the Lakers, you got the Lakers coming out of the West, you got Golden State, and I guess we don't have to worry about them so much. But now the new team coming out of the West, do you think that Dallas is the team to beat out of the West coming up for a dynasty type situation?
Yeah, you still got to deal with Denver. I mean, they're not going away.
Right.
There's like up and comers. You got Minnesota. You got a lot of tough cats in there, and Dallas just put themselves in the right position to win, and they came on strong at the end of the season when the timing was right. And so that's kind of what happened there. And like everybody's pony was on like Minnesota. Everybody was hot on
garnered a lot of momentum there, and the West is loaded, man. Dallas, and then it might go back to the old days where that Texas road trip is brutal with Wembyana coming up for the Spurs, and then Dallas being loaded. If Houston could figure it out, because I can remember the 90s, 2000s, when the West started dominating, it'd be like, well, shit, we've got the Mavericks Tuesday, the Rockets Wednesday, the Spurs Friday. That used to be like a brutal-ass part of the schedule, that Texas road trip.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of the teams coming from the East, especially from, the Eastern Conference, coming down to the West, so they got to play a lot of games, and they got to take a little road trips, and it ain't easy coming to play on the, in somebody's the road trip. It's coming home to people and stuff. But another thing, it's just like because we're Cleveland people, Cavs through and through. I was like impressed like a few things they did because they did stick at the Boston one game, which gives us, like we were talking about last episode, a little bit of street cred because we whipped their ass in game 2. We won a road game finally, and then we just got out-coached, out-talented. So we know we have to make some
blowouts, though. I feel like guys, blowouts for their side, blowouts for the other side, because the Cavs, when they beat Boston that game, it was not close. But then Boston really took care of business against the Cavs, and even in this series, Game 1 was a huge blowout. Game 2, not so much. But then when Dallas actually got their win in Game 4. It was a humongous win for them. So what's up with the blowouts on both sides?
So Boston went down there in Game 3, and it was on the road. So, that was huge, and that just took all the pressure off of, Boston right there. And, we could win it at home. So Game 4 was just, kind of a bonus, in my opinion. And, Dallas stood up, and they were like, we're not going down like this. But, you got to show teeth as a team. And, so give them that. But Boston just, the coaching. And the talent level and the matchups. The matchups really was
what do you think about the coaching on the Dallas side? Jason Kidd, he's doing a pretty good job.
For sure, he got them to the finals.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's not that often a player could come in and be a coach with that much success.
Yeah, the much maligned Jason Kidd. He's had some pretty inglorious stints all over Manhattan. I think he had a pretty brief failed Knicks and Nets stint. For sure. For the most part. I mean. Maybe failed is unkind. He didn't exactly win a title and get a parade on his way out. So they were unfulfilling stints, we'll say. Maybe failures have been harsh. But, he's kind of been knocked around the coaching circuit. He was a hell of a player, probably my favorite, point guard of this century, playing the ball. And, they built a hell of a program. with Dallas.
Yeah.
The rumors in the NBA are out of control. Pretty much, it's not being dramatic to say go to the finals, or you've got to hear at least whispers of your superstar leaving or rumors and stuff. And now Dallas, the program's built. They've gone to the finals. They've handled their business.
For sure.
That's going to be that. There's not even going to be a rumbling of will Luka leave, and even if it's clickbait, like no one wants those distractions.
Well,
right.
Now they've earned the leeway to not have those distractions.
You have some whispers for us. Maybe Scotty's got a couple of whispers on the goings on.
Well, yeah,
as the finals conclude.
They have a heck of an owner, and they did all the right moves and such. So you got to look at the teams that are making all the right moves, and Dallas is definitely one of them because they're staying in the mix in the competition. You look at like I just keep going back to the Eastern Conference a lot because that's what's most interesting to me because that's the conference I follow the most. But the Cavs have they keep their trying, even though just say top 4 in the Eastern Conference, which is let's say 4 of 16, and one of the top 4s arguably, and they're trying to make the right moves to move forward. So this is really like a battle royal, it's between management, ownership, and then the players and the contracts, and finding the right mix with the right teams and how to match up with your competition.
Have you heard any whispers about any contracts coming up?
Yeah, I mean, this is the season ends tonight. I would expect Donovan Mitchell to sign his max deal with the Cavs for 4 years because it gives him absolutely better leverage down the road if something doesn't not go his way. And, the Cavs will basically one more year with a rights with him. They can trade him to anybody they want for any assets they can get. So I think it's going to be more advantageous. Obviously, it is more advantageous to Donovan Mitchell to stick with the Cavaliers, and then that leads to the coaching search with the Cavaliers. Bickerstaff has been dismissed, and then I'm looking at possibly an assistant. I'm not going to name any names or anything, but either from Miami or possibly Dallas to come in and take over the team. I think it's all a lot of behind-the-scenes efforts to make this work, and I would appreciate that. And the only other thing I could really say about that is people want Jared Allen to stay as a Cleveland Cavalier.
That just reinforces what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago when the Cavaliers season ended.
What was that?
Mitchell's going to stay. And
what was that?
And the coach is going to go, and both those things seem to be coming to fruition.
Yep.
So now we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. We're waiting for the the LeBron lottery?
The we hope shoe.
Right.
We haven't learned our lesson twice or anything, so we can teach us a third time. But
right.
We think it's coming, and we're hoping.
It seems like Mitchell's staying. I really hope Mitchell's staying. Maybe that's just the homer in me. It seems like the moment the season ended, the national narrative has flipped from 75% Mitchell's leaving to 50-50, and the narrative's always against us. So if the narrative's 50-50 that he's staying, that means it's 75-25 he's staying, because that's just always the good juicy clickbait to say he's going to New York or this is happening or that's happening. So
it's been doing it since he's got here, but it's beneficial to sign that max deal because then he has more leverage as a as a contract negotiation.
Yeah, we want a playoff series, just the dollars and cents of extending here, just all the logistics. I'm not even cautiously optimistic. I'm soundly optimistic he'll resign.
Soundly optimistic.
He's gonna.
We still have a bunch of other stuff to figure out. We've got a coach to hire. We've got a roster to, build and finesse around him and stuff. But once we lock him in, that's the biggest domino to fall.
Yep.
And then what happens?
I got one more question for you guys, and let's get back to the game at hand. So, do you guys think that Garland is gone, or do you think Garland is staying?
I think he's staying.
I think he's gone. We're going to get a pretty attractive offer for him. We're keeping an open mind, and I know some people like him, and our camp's a bit divided, but I think he's gone. We'll get an offer that makes sense, and we would have to look at that. So, I think that'll present itself, and Garland will be gone. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. And don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out.
All right.
All right, what do you guys think? Second half of this game, Dallas Mavericks versus the Boston Celtics.
Well, all I could say is I wish I was in the Boston area tonight because I could tell there's going to be one hell of a party.
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's probably going to be a run because all these games, they come out to be looking like a blowout, and then there's a run late in the game. So I think watch out for Dallas to make a run. Kyrie's going to catch fire. He's only got 5 points. And Doncic, I'm looking for him not to foul out this time. So he's going to be a weapon to be feared. So, those are the two big stars, the supporting cast. hasn't done much. So we're looking for somebody off the bench, somebody to make a splash. And I don't know. I'm looking for them to extend this series. I think that Boston's got the edge because of Porzingis, but I haven't seen Porzingis do that much in terms of the way of scoring. He looks like he may not be 100%. So I'm thinking Dallas is gonna press it. They're gonna make the game close. I don't know who's gonna win, but I think it's gonna come down to a close game, not a blowout, because again, that's what everyone wants to see, a close game. So maybe Las Vegas is kind of got their hands in it a little bit, like let's get a close game to close it out, so Boston will win or even extend the series.
And folks, let me remind you, he's been following basketball for a total of 6 months, and he's only predicted one game right.
What do you think? Do you think the opposite? Do you think it's going to be a blowout? Do you think that Boston's going to pile the threes and pile the points on?
I wouldn't like to be a Dallas fan tonight. What do you think, Tito?
Yeah, blowout. I'm going to say Boston by 20. They kind of cruise this thing out.
Boston by 20, okay. Anybody know what the spread is on this game?
I do not. I'd be curious because, yes, Boston's playing so much better, but then the desperation factor always buys you something. I remember the spread for Game 4. It was almost a true pick'em. But, yes, I didn't check the spread for this game. I'm guessing Boston or who knows? If Game 4 was a true pick'em, but this one's in Boston, so I'm guessing it was probably 7 or 8. But I did not look.
What would you give it if you were making the line? What would you give it?
I would say the line should have been 7.
7?
What happened in the first half notwithstanding, just
right.
What should have been the line to open the game.
Scott, what do you think the line should be?
I don't know. I'm waiting to hear from some agents and offers and some companies. I can't say nothing.
You're waiting for your bookie to call?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who? Oh, yeah, Jimmy Bookson or something. No. I would have called this probably about in between 5.5 to maybe 7. Yeah, that sounded about right.
All right, I'm looking for Dallas to go on maybe a 10-0 run, maybe a 12-0 run, and get the game close again.
Okay.
So we'll see how the second half goes. You want to switch over to baseball? You got anything baseball for us, Tito?
Sure, yeah. Baseball, the weekend was a little disappointing in regards as our nearest competition right now, the Royals, sort of held their own against the Dodgers thanks to a clutch Melendez grand slam and stuff. And then we were playing the Blue Jays, so with the Royals, playing the first place team.
You got to take a sip of beer there.
Oh, you know it. Pardon. With the Royals playing a first-place team and us playing the last-place team in the AL East, we were hoping to gain some ground. It didn't really work out. We fought hard on Sunday's comeback, fell a little short, dropped that series to the Blue Jays, and then the Royals held their own against the Dodgers. So now the Guards are back home for the Mariners and Blue Jays this week for a 6-game homestand. And then we head to Baltimore and Kansas City. So it's imperative, while the opponents on this homestand are no slouch, Seattle's winning their division, and Toronto just took 2 out of 3 from us. We need to have a strong 4-2, 5-1 homestand, knowing that we're headed to Baltimore and Kansas City with a tough road trip next week.
All right, but how are we doing overall? Just to give a little recap, because I know we're doing good, but I know you know exactly how good we're doing.
Okay, yes. Sunday's game, and again, it's hard to be 20 games over 500 this early. Sunday's game dropped us to 19 games above 500. Mm-hmm. Still stout, still a reasonably comfortable lead on our competition, but there's 3 teams over 500 in our division. Our division's not as weak as advertised, so we're elated to be 19 games over 500, 63 and 44, I believe, after Sunday, and then we're off today.
Right.
Like I said, regrouping for our homestand of the first-place Mariners, and then this weekend, Toronto again.
All right, let me get to Sky Tuhati briefly here.
Yeah.
So, Sky Tuhati, do you think this is the year the Guardians get to the World Series?
I hope so. And I'm going to wait till after the All-Star break to say anything. I've been building up my information, and I have a few things that I want to see happen first. After the All-Star game, I'll let you know for sure.
Yeah, because I was just having this discussion with one of the barflies over here in the illustrious, the beautiful Frankentoni's, where we're drinking $2 beers.
Yes.
And we're about to get a $5 pizza here soon.
Oh, Jays.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I was having a conversation about this the other day, and someone said, oh, yeah, Guardians World Series, lock it in, raise the pennant. And I was like, I don't know about that. And then it got a little political because he said, "Do you like the Guardians?" I said, "I like the Indians, and I would rather have the Indians win the World Series than the Guardians. If the Guardians win the World Series, I feel like it will be just like a full-on asterisk."
Yeah.
Because we're not truly the Indians anymore, so it's hard to root for the
Well,
Guardians.
the AAA Indianapolis Indians might win the AAA one.
There you go.
I'll
AAA
knock it
Indianapolis
off. I'll knock
Indians
it
can
off.
still be called the Indians.
Do whatever you want.
Can't.
Oh, this just did. I'll do it for confirm. We got a flight out to Boston, CAC Airport. Be there in about 2 hours. They're going to win on party. Party with the Boston.
Party with Boston starts in 2 hours. All right.
We'll see you there because, you know.
Now, here's the question for the panel. Because there's some people
Yeah, get the car ready. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. You go ahead and bring it up.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Here's the question. Because there's some people that are a stick in the mud, like myself, that are all about the Indians. They're not about the Guardians. If the Guardians do end up raising the banner, winning the pennant, going all the way through and winning the World Series, do you think some of those people that are against the Guardians will still root for the team, or they continue to be obstinate and be like, I don't like the Guardians?
At this point, if you're still missing out, this is an awesome team. We're 19 games over 500. I love the Tribe. I have a million Chief Wahoo shirts, but it's been 2 years. I'm over it. Yeah. We're in first place, you know.
What's it matter?
We could be in Pierre, South Dakota, 800 miles or so from any sort of major league stadium, you know. Call us the Cleveland Daffy Ducks for all I care.
Cleveland Daffy Ducks.
I think at this point, the battle lines are drawn.
The Cleveland dipshits.
Anyone missing out
I'm still rooting for them. I don't care.
Has missed out. You know, if you're not cheering for us now, it's 63 and 44. Like, I'd rather the bandwagon just kept missing you, you know. So it's kind of a moot point. Maybe some people come around, maybe they won't. But at this point, I think if you're still not on board, just over semantics, then you're just going to be stubborn and not on board.
And this is the way I look at it. If we hit hard, we hit fast. If we win it this year, because we're from Cleveland, we got a better chance of some more smart-ass bullshit of them raising up Indians flags and all kind of garbage when we're hot and fresh on this topic. You know, that 5 years down the road when the name has, like, lost some luster. We hit them hard. We hit them now. Then we can celebrate the two together and pass it on in basic fashion. So, Guardians/Indians, win it now. Some of our players have been Indians, and now they're Guardians. Let's win it all and tie it all together for us. And please, we are behind you, no matter what you are. The ones that are mad, we'll get over it. But at the end of the day, we're all. This is our team.
Well, not to beat a dead horse, but the attendance has been atrocious. So there's a lot of people that really aren't behind them. So how do we get people to be behind the team? Because the team is one of the best starts in the past 100 years.
Keep winning. That's the first thing.
How do we fill that damn stadium?
I'm not sure the attendance has been atrocious. I got to look at the figures. I heard, now mind you, I'm sure our projections weren't aggressive, but I heard we were above projections a bit.
It's not bad.
So I wouldn't necessarily say the attendance has been awful. Like I said, I wish I had the facts in front of me. I didn't know things would go this way in the conversation, but I heard we're not extremely hopeful for spending money at the deadline, but I read a couple articles that with the attendance slightly above projection, we have a cheap ownership. Obviously, we all know what time it is, but they were saying
bye-bye, Dolans.
Based on attendance projections being a little better than we thought, that maybe we pry our wallet open a little bit. So we'll see how that goes.
Things are going to change.
I hope so.
And how those renovations go in the stadium? I know they're ongoing.
Yes, they are ongoing, but they seem to be working.
Not ready yet.
People, not working. But those bars that they did put in, there's people at the bars hanging out at a couple of games I've been to. And stuff, so.
Look, it's getting better.
It seems to.
Well, I was talking more about a 10-year time frame where it's the attendance has been sagging every year for the past 10 years.
Right. Yes. In general, over that period.
Indians/Guardians attendance turned out to be the lowest in the American League.
But
what was it last year? So we're kind of bumping the bottom here. But I guess maybe let me get to Scott first, and then I'll ask you, Tito, about your experience in the stadium because you've been there more than I. I've just been for one game.
Well, basically, it's the option to buy. The first deal didn't pan out. Now we have option to buy through the Dolan's family, so it's option to buy through ownership, and I believe it's the Blitzer Group. I don't even want to even quote names at this point, but hopefully once it the Dolans are kind of out of the picture or not the non-majority ownership, a lot of things will change within the organization as they are slowly progressing. But the management team everything has done a fine job. Who would have ever thought with the first year, taking it down to the baseball level with vote Steve Oak, awesome job that we carried on the tradition with our heavy farm system. So making it all where it's going, bringing it back to the attendance. When we win and we are successful, they will show up, and that's what it is. And it's investment in talent. Look at all the talent we had, like through previous ownership groups, and it's only getting better. So I expect things to progress going forward.
That's a good point, because, yes, we have a ways to go. Sure, we've beaten our modest projections, but we've got to aim higher than that, and hopefully as we continue to be a good team to watch and establish a good ball club, we'll keep that consistent attendance going. Yeah.
All right, well, you want to talk about your experience down at the stadium, and then any other topics that you want to get to? Tito?
Sure. Yeah, the Royals game last time I was at the stadium didn't go our way. About 2 weeks ago, we ended up dropping that one. But it was a raucous, nice atmosphere. It's funny, my buddy thought Thursday day game, he was sort of living in the past from like a year or two ago, like, oh, Thursday day game, no one will be down there. We'll get in and get out, no hassle, no muss.
Oh, businessman special. Was that a noon game?
Oh, them are the
1
best.
o'clock.
Okay,
them are the best.
And man, it was jam-packed.
Hit a day game if you ever get a chance.
It was like the 95 or 97 World Series season.
Really?
Yeah, going to a game in the glories of August or September. And boy,
those
that
are the
was
best.
Yeah, that was a good sign. That was impressive to see things that full when, school wasn't even probably out for the summer in half the districts. Again, this was a week or two ago, so we'll say it was, June 5th, something like that. But anyway, Thursday afternoon Royals game, just chomping at the bit. Like I said, just fuller than full. Like you would never know it was a Thursday afternoon
old
game.
information, because I remember seeing the games maybe a little longer ago, and seeing them on TV, and the stands were pretty bare, but you went to one of those rocking and rolling. Okay.
Yeah. So it's taken some time, but now that summer's hitting its stride, and yes, doubting Thomas's, everyone was sort of wait for it, 10-4, wait for it, and it's early till it's not, and now we're 63 and 44, and we still got a ton of work to do, but it's not early anymore.
Right,
We've
great point,
played
Tito.
100 games, or
Great point, Tito. It's because usually they have the 3 game series, 3-4, whatever. Mostly the 3. So when they hit the road after they usually try to have a 1 o'clock game. So what the people in Cleveland, from the word I heard and what I've experienced, you show up at noon to work, you go to lunch, and then you go to the ball game. And what can be a bad day of work for that?
Right. 43 and 24. I'm getting ahead of myself, acting like it's August, saying we played 100 games. But either way, 19 games above 500.
Yep.
That's the important baseline there.
Right.
Do you have any
43 and 24.
injury updates? That some guys have come back from injury, like Quan or anybody else?
Yeah, Quan's back.
Yeah,
Quan
yeah.
is hitting almost 400. You need 3.1 plate appearances per team game to qualify for the batting title. He's out hitting Bobby Witt by 60 average points right now. So, yes, with Quan's high usage, in no more than 3 weeks or so, he'll qualify for the batting title again. And unless he goes on, an unholy 2 for 80 slump or something, he will probably be decisively winning the batting title. Bobby Witt right now leads the majors in batting at 330, and Quan's at 398 or something. And again, he doesn't quite qualify because of his injuries, but he will qualify in a few weeks, and with that kind of insane cushion. So, man.
He's there, man.
So, health-wise, Quan's back. Gavin Williams will be back soon enough. They're still being kind of vague. They're saying in June, hopefully he'll pitch a major league game. We're really looking forward to getting him back.
After the All-Star break, I say.
Mm-hmm. And then, obviously the Bieber injury's old news. So ever since then, we're trying to get in the right direction
What about
health-wise.
Carrasco?
Well, Carrasco, he might be the big loser when Gavin Williams comes back to lose his job in the rotation. Now, Carrasco fought hard and in a few favorable matchups pitched capably, but it just seems like, boy, it really needs to be a silver platter cupcake matchup, or else you're almost expecting him to get shelled. So,
see, every team needs an inning eater, is what I call it. And this dude eats up innings. He's an old pro. He'll just keep throwing. He doesn't give a shit what happens. He does give a shit. Let's put it to you that way. But this dude keeps throwing. He eats up innings, and that's the guy you needed because you deplete pitching staff. You don't have a guy that could just go out and compete and And half-ass, that's just what we needed.
Oh,
in my opinion.
Yeah, he's a battler, and he had to be out there earlier when there was just quite literally no one else. And now that we're getting blessed with some more depth and stuff, I'm sure, to say the least, he'll take on a reduced role or possibly,
see him as a
mid-inning
reliever. Just let him do what he wants and get in there and just throw some pitches and keep us in the game. That dude's beautiful for that job.
An inning
eater. He really is.
Gobbling it up.
Yeah. You tell him, Tito. He knows.
I just want to say one thing. So after this, this NBA Finals concludes today, we'll not be covering NBA anymore. So
5-10 minutes. So guys want to go to Boston. We're going to go celebrate.
Yeah. So after this is over, we'll probably be switching to a new schedule. We're hoping to do like more of maybe a weekly sports show. We're looking at doing that, but it's great to be able to cover multiple different sports. So we've been doing a lot of great stuff about the NBA, but we'll be switching more to baseball, to just whatever the sports of the week is. So hopefully we go into a weekly show.
Yeah, hot topics too.
I'll ask Tito if you have anything else on baseball. Maybe you can do 60 seconds on baseball, and we'll do our concluding remarks.
Okay, 60 seconds on baseball. Let's keep up this wire-to-wire lead we've had over Kansas City not going away, and Minnesota still sort of peskily hanging in the periphery. Gavin Williams, really looking forward to him coming back. I think Tanner Bibby will have a monster second half, and I'm looking forward to these guys going wire to wire and just not even looking back and holding off the Royals. Daniel Schneemann has done well since being called off.
Schneemann.
Schneemann. We forgot about this.
And, I think that we're a good team, and we're ready for the stretch run. Guards up.
Yeah,
guard up.
And, I mean, I don't need 60 seconds, so I'm just very impressed by the job that, the new manager did and the team, pulling together and believing in the system. And, everybody pulling together, minor leagues, they cultivated an attitude of winning, and you know what I mean. And that's the most appreciated thing.
What a surprise! What a surprise! Before the season started, I thought the batting was going to be suspect, and we had these pitching injuries, and everything was looking down. But we've continued to have a really great season going on so far. So I'm looking forward to, after the basketball's over, getting more into baseball. I'll be able to do more counterpoint arguments with you guys about different players, different teams, and all that. But it's it's going to be full-on baseball season for the summer.
Yeah, football updates, a lot of exciting stuff happening, and thank you to all our sponsors.
Mm-hmm. Last word.
Congratulations to the captains, first half champions in their league, so there'll be playoffs in the fall there in Eastlake. Again, with the winning culture, a good things happening with our minor stadiums. So, yes, get out to whatever ballpark you can. Akron, Columbus, Lake County, good things happening at all three farm levels.
Fun.
Last word for me.
Scotty,
last word. 2 more minutes, dudes.
All right. Scotty's
got to head off to Boston.
Shipping up to Boston. That's it.
Down to Boston.
All right. Well, thank you very much, you guys, for tuning in. We've been Dog Fight Sports. And we'll be coming to you in a more consistent format, not just going into whenever the NBA's playing, but we'll probably be doing once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks, and we'll be seeing you soon.
Random stuff.
Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe and share with a friend.